Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Dr. Rasi Explains. This is Dr. Rasi, and today's topic is module number 3. Two chapters in this module: cell cycle, mitosis is the first chapter, and then meiosis is the second chapter. So let's get started. Okay, so this is a pretty short module. Again, it's all about cell cycle, and cell cycle includes mitosis and meiosis, and also interphase. So we are going to talk about today. Okay, so this is in your green book. This is chapter 10 and 11. So chapter 10 is the cell cycle. So let's start with cell cycle. As you see here in this picture here, basically cell cycle is made of parts like interphase, a longer part, and then mitotic phase, which includes mitosis in this case, and cytokinesis. An interphase has subparts like G1, S, and G2. So cell division is important. Why is an essential for perpetuation of life, development, growth, and repair of multicellular organisms, but also provides for reproduction of unicellular organisms. Slightly different, but same idea. Cell division also creates genetically equivalent daughter cells. And in eukaryotes, using mitosis, which includes prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. And also cell cycle includes both mitotic phase and interphase. But also it uses another process called binary fission, which basically binary fission is in like organisms like bacteria uses for their cell division. Okay, so it's very, very important for reproduction of the cells, creating duplicate offsprings from the cells, and then organisms, provides for growth, development, and repair in multicellular organisms. So most cell division results in genetically identical daughter cells, which we use mitosis. That's why cell cycle and mitosis are together in this case, and meiosis is a separate chapter. Okay, so but what's so unique about them, and what they have in common, and what they differ from each other? These are all important that you need to actually study from the book, and also lecture notes we are going to also review today, but also we also covered previously. So if we have we have two types of cells. If we have somatic cells, we have 46 chromosomes in them, and then we have gametes, which we have humans have 23 chromosomes in gamete cells, right? So as you see here, gametes need a different cell division to actually halve the chromosome number, which is basically from 46 to 23. That unique cell division is called meiosis, which is the one at the bottom of this picture you see here. Okay, so an eukaryotic cell cycle is regulated by also a molecular control system. That's also very, very important, because if cells don't follow this molecular control, it might actually cause issues like cancer and cancerous cells and tumors, and can go on like that. Okay, so cell cycle, as you see here, mitosis, it starts with the mitosis interphase. Interphase has G1, which is growth and metabolic activity. S stands for DNA synthesis, replication, and growth. G2, which is more growth and preparation for division. G1, S, G2, all these three are interphase. And then once it's done with the G2, it goes through mitosis, which is prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. And then once ends the telophase, it divides the cell. Is a process called cytokinesis, right? So you need to be familiar with these different parts of mitosis, different stages. As you see here, in the second picture here, both mitosis and mitosis at the top, meiosis at the bottom. As you can see here, mitosis has only 5 well, really 5 steps, and meiosis have 10 steps. Okay, so they both have interphase, but mitosis have just prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase, and then creates 2 equal, genetically identical offsprings. You can see here. They are identical to parent and also identical to each other. That's mitosis. But as you see, meiosis at the bottom here has 10 steps. Again, you need to know 10 steps of meiosis. Again, it starts with interphase and goes through prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. Now it goes a second set of meiosis 2 now. Again, prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, telophase 2. If you pay attention, you can see easily that every phase duplicates except interphase in meiosis. So that's why if we start with 4 chromosomes here, we end up with 2 chromosomes in each daughter cells. Not 4, but half of the parent. But this doesn't happen in mitosis. Whenever we start with 4, we end up with 4, 4. So there is also a phase called G0. If G0 means it's a non-dividing phase. Okay, so unlike other phases, it's not G1 or G2, it's G0, which is a lot of cells after maturity, they go to this non-dividing stage called G0. As you can see here, when you're studying these 2 chapters, you need to pay attention how chromosomes moving and what their numbers, what their structure, where they accumulated. Like in metaphase, you can see here they are actually line up in the middle here. For example, you need to know, if I show you this picture on the test, you need to know this is metaphase here, and then it comes after prophase, and also after metaphase there is anaphase. So where the chromosomes are, just follow the chromosomes, right? In this meiosis and mitosis both. So, and you need to know what's anaphase. Sister chromatids separate in anaphase, prophase. Basically, in interphase, by the way, we don't. If you look at under the microscope, we don't see the chromosomes so much. We just see a cloudy appearance that we know what's happening there, but we cannot really separate them. That's interphase. But prophase, mitotic spindle begins to form. Cytokinesis, cell plate forms and then divides, cleavage or cleavage furrow pinches the cell apart from each other. S phase, which is the replication of DNA, which is S, like letter S. Metaphase, chromosomes line up in the middle. I just mentioned that. G1 is the restriction point occurs in this phase, which is again part of interphase. Now, so that's mitosis. If you look at the meiosis, which is the second part here, you can see the lower part of the picture. Meiosis and life cycles or sexual life cycles go together. So this is a little more complex, and there are 10 steps here. Offsprings here acquire genes from the parents by inheriting chromosomes. So in order to get genes, you need to get chromosomes from the parents. And then there are not just meiosis, but there is another thing happening here called fertilization. Fertilization, meiosis alternate in life cycles. So you need to be familiar with life cycles of organisms. Meiosis reduces the number of chromosomes from duplicate to the half of the number, and genetic variation occurs. So at the end of meiosis, if you look at these daughter cells, they are not identical to each other. They are all unique. They might look, some of them might look like similar to parent, but not all of them. They are unique, not identical. Okay, so that brings us to a sexual life cycle, which is a life cycle summarizes the whole life of an organism, which is all animal, plant, algae. They all have this, and they have homologous pairs of chromosome. And then you can visualize the chromosome, something called karyotyping. Karyotyping is during the metaphase, you take picture of under the electron microscope, basically, or any some other a good great microscope that like a fluorescent microscope maybe, that actually you can see and easily see every chromosome and take their pictures. Okay. So now again, this is a little slightly different than mitosis, which we've seen in the previous chapter. Meiosis basically goes meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Okay, and it might actually use synapses crossing over, the chromosomes cross over, independent assortment, and these are all cause genetic variation at the end, okay, which contributes to evolution. So genetic variation and evolution, they go together. Meiosis 2 produces four haploid cells produced from a diploid parent, okay, and sister chromatids separate. Meiosis also produces spores, and they go sporophyte generation and alternate with gametophyte. These are all part of the life cycles or sexual life cycles. Okay. Also pay attention here. Meiosis is kind of does the opposite thing of fertilization. So meiosis breaks down the chromosomes to the haploid. Fertilization combines them again, make them diploid. Okay, so meiosis and fertilization are the two very important processes. They actually they are in their life cycles. They alternate between sporophyte to gametophyte, gametophyte to sporophyte. Okay, auto means self, di means two, fertile means fruitful, haploid means single, homozygous is like a pair of like chromosomes. Kare is nucleus. So make sure pay attention to these words and also make your vocabulary and your flashcards. So study these two chapters. They are not very long, and in the class, in the coming class, we are going to actually also do a bigger review and also go over some questions and like some sample questions I will ask you, and also you can ask me questions so related to these two chapters. So just to recap, mitosis, meiosis, and cell cycle are these three topics in two chapters. They are gonna be in this. They are in this module, and they will be covered in a coming exam. And basically, they are pretty short module, and just make sure that you know 10 steps of meiosis, 5 steps of mitosis, and 3 major parts of cell cycle, and also make sure that excuse me, study some cell cycle control and what happens if cells goes out of cell cycle control, which we know that can cause cancer cells. And then study the cancer cells, which they can be malignant cancer or benign. Benign can be removed, and then actually they are that can be cured possibly, but malignant, they actually metastasize and take over other very important vital organs. So that's actually complete the review of cell cycle mitosis and meiosis. Thanks for watching, and please feel free to comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, and share. See you next time. Happy studying, and see you in the next video.